Hey, what's up, everybody? We've got a brand new State of the Game in Destiny 2. I've got a brand new cold, and both of them not great, I'm gonna be honest. First of all, thank you, Bungie, for making this in the first place. I don't think this is the delivery method it should have taken form in. It could have been a couple developer inside articles and then released throughout Twids and the showcase at the end of the month, which is a common thread throughout this whole state of the game, is they say, yeah, we'll show you more in the Twids in the future, and we'll show you more in the showcase. Why are you telling us now, then? That's just my thing. Anyways, we're going to start off with ritual updates, as they say. Basically, they're increasing... So, instead of having the exotic engram split between all three game modes, it's just 9 exotics you get from playing core ritual playlists, which means if you don't want to play Gambit, you don't have to play Gambit. If you don't want to play Crucible like me, you don't have to play Crucible. That's great. And they're increasing the drop rate of the ritual activity weapons, and they're adding new ones. That's basically all they said. The first core in quotes playlist that gets attention in the state of the game will be PvP or Crucible, whatever you want to call it. Basically, cracking down more on cheaters. They're talking about how their matchmaking has improved, and then they talk about maps. One, they made a new map, and it's coming into the game the 22nd. They don't show any gameplay. They show one picture. It's Vex Network, which is pretty cool. But, no gameplay, because remember, they got a showcase at the end of the month where they're actually giving us information, hopefully. And then they say that they can't make more maps because that takes resources from other teams to build it. Where honestly, I would prefer having a new Crucible or Gambit map as opposed to getting 2 different activities per season. We don't need a salvage and a deep dive. Deep dive's fine. I'm okay with that. I don't really like salvage that much. If salvage wasn't here, wouldn't be bothered. Catch Crash was fun. It's Expedition or whatever the other one was. Didn't need that. Just need Catch Crash. It's one of those things where it's like every season we don't have a battleground. We're plagued with 2 activities that we have to bounce between. Just give us one of those, and then maybe a Gambit or Crucible map. I don't know what the trade-off would be, if that's an equivalent trade-off, but I feel like a whole activity that you have to make a map for and then put the enemies in there, I feel like that's a lot of work. And usually one of those 2 activities isn't really beloved or anything, so yeah, I don't know. Anyways, after that, they talk about the 2 new modes that are coming to Crucible Labs. It's Checkmate, which is primary ammo focus. It sounds like year 1 of Destiny 2, if I'm being honest, for the most part. And then Relic, which sounds like a lot of fun to me. I saw a lot of people complaining on Twitter that they should focus on making the game good instead of making fun playlists. Nah, man, I'm all here for the fun playlists. I play Scorched and Mayhem. That's about it. That's about as much as I touch Crucible. So I'm fine with Relic. I'm excited to see how that goes. And then they talk about some new competitive rewards and new Iron Banner modes coming in Season 23. And Citadel's coming back in Season 23, which is cool. We're getting not a new map, but a reprise map, and that's always nice to get more maps in your map pool. Couldn't be me, a Gambit enjoyer. Anyways, the Vanguard playlist, it's getting medals, which is honestly the biggest thing they could have done for the Vanguard playlist. I like Vanguard Ops having battlegrounds, personally. So them getting more in the future doesn't bother me. Medals are great though. Happy about medals coming in. And boys, we have it. The admission that they abandoned their fucking child. Sorry, that was a little too much. But yeah, Gambit got taken out back, pretty much. It's not getting gutted from the game, but, you know, they took Old Yeller to the back of the barn, and he's no longer with us, really. Hasn't really been with us since Season of the Drifter. Yeah. This one hurts. If you don't know, I love Gambit. There's a whole playlist on this channel solely about Gambit. Gambit Prime was one of my favorite activities in the whole game. And seeing how it's gotten no new maps, not particularly great updates, it just hasn't been nice to see, honestly. Anyways, let's get into the changes that they do have. We're getting an old map. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. And it's not next season or the season after that. It's sometime during the year of the final shape. We're getting Cathedral Scars back, which is the Dreaming City map, which I have no idea why it left is one of the more balanced maps, but, you know. So, we're getting that map back, and they're adding Shadow Legion and Lucent Hive to the enemy types in Gambit, which that's nice. But, like, can we get a little more? Like, they say, unfortunately, these updates didn't move the needle for player engagement, talking about the Witch Queen revamp. Because there was nothing new. Like, dog, I'm sure Garden of Salvation has low player engagement. Like, you go on LFG and you look for the old dungeons. You look for groups for old dungeons. You're not going to find them. You know why? There's nothing new. That's it. I haven't played Crucible in a long time because I didn't like the balance updates, and I didn't like the fact there was no maps. Like, Disjunction, not a good map, but it's a new map, and that's pretty cool in my book. I don't like playing on that map, but, you know, at least it's something new. It's something to get people to go to that playlist and go, huh, what's this? And try it out. Honestly, I feel like Gambit could succeed, but Bungie doesn't want it to, is the problem. It's just infuriating as someone that likes Gambit. And then they have 2 fucking paragraphs about how, oh yeah, soon you won't have to play Gambit if you don't want to, and we're gonna push people less towards Gambit. Like, you're just making the playlist worse for people that do like it. That's all you're doing, Bungie. Yeah, I really hope someone makes something like Gambit, but like puts care into it and cares about it. Because honestly, it feels like they just took the dog out back and shot it. Honestly, at this point, I would rather just see it cut from the game, and then someone just make something close to it. Like, someone made it in Fortnite. Did you see that? Haha, most new Gambit content we've gotten in years. It's just really annoying, Bungie. Then they talk about how they dropped the ball getting new ritual armor sets out for this year, which is whatever. I didn't care, honestly. But they will be out for final shape, and we're getting new trial set next season. So there's that. And then they talk about game security, which is nice. They got BattleEye working a little better, and they're suing cheat makers, which was happening for a while. So, hey, that's always good to hear. They say that the game's more stable now after last season. Hopefully that sticks. Now, this isn't really State of the Game worthy. This is all Twid worthy. or it could have been shown in the showcase when they revealed the season. But let me tell you, these quality of life changes, rock solid. Okay, cosmetic favoriting. Let's fucking go. That's nice. We can favorite shaders so we can just, pull them up faster and they're at the front of our shader selection. Happy about that one. And for newer players that have completed Beyond Light, you can buy aspects and fragments for Glimmer instead of doing the bullshit quest for them. Isn't that sick as fuck? Honestly, I am hyped about that. Like, I have all my Stasis stuff, but for people that don't, that's great. Transmats are no longer consumables. They are just items like shaders are, which is nice. Wish Under's getting a proper quest instead of what it is now. They also talk about Iron Banner changes, like little changes to how you progress the pinnacle rewards, which is nice to see. And then they're slightly changing how rank ups are given to you in ritual playlists. Also, they announced new strand aspects. I honestly didn't think it was going to happen. I thought they're going to leave it at 3 aspects like the light subclasses were. But hey, I'm happy to hear that we're getting more strand aspects, and I hope in the future the light subclasses get more also. That way there's more variety to those subclasses. And then they announced that some point this season we're going to hear more about exotic armor and weapon reworks. They did announce that swords are getting better, which is nice. So yeah. Full breakdown later this month for all the sandbox stuff. They just had to plug it here, I guess. And then they talk about the goals they laid out before Lightfall launched. And they did explicitly say Final Shape and the Raid are the conclusion to the saga. The seasons have nothing to do with it. So, if you want to end with the Light and Darkness saga, you play Final Shape, you play the Raid, don't play the seasons. Personally, what I hope for those seasons is that instead of just pushing the narrative towards the next saga, they take a moment and they just give us more content, like more Crucible maps, more Gambit maps, and maybe a couple strikes. I'd be fine with that. A raid or two, a couple dungeons, just little things like that. I don't need a big seasonal overarching story. I just need like to fix the core of the game. And honestly, that's about it, other than they're changing bounties into like the Pathfinder system in the Final Shape, which we don't know anything about, but I'm pretty sure they're talking about it later this month on the 22nd. So yeah, LFG coming season 23, I believe. So yeah, that like, I don't know what to say. Like, this is like 7,000 words nearly, and they didn't say a whole lot that we didn't already know. I think they kind of, wink and a nudge that they're adding more exotic missions this year, possibly. But overall, they typed a bunch of words that we either already knew or don't matter, or in the case of Gambit are just fucking heartbreaking, honestly. So yeah, that's the brand new state of the game, August 2023, released eerily just before GCX, and less than a month, not even 20 days away from the Final Shape reveal showcase. No reason for this to really exist, honestly. Anyways, thank you for watching. Check out that pinned comment, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you next time.